All right, what's up, yins, guys? This is all over like the TV news. I want to just say a little thing about it or do a little video about it. It's and also start it with an opening joke. I mean, yeah, the University Slippery Rock or the area Slippery Rock do. Yeah, I'm start this with an opening joke. You got to watch when you go over there. Be careful, because the rocks are very slippery. So go there with caution. Don't want to mess up that joke. But Slippery Rock is an okay place. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about I don't know, that's a miscommunication or a mistake. I don't know. Dr. Phil said, I think something he said that's something that we're all thinking, but I can tell right away he didn't mean anything against Slippery Rock, or he could use any other university. Well, he could have even said in a lower level community college, you know what I mean? Because around here, if you don't even go to somewhere like Slippery Rock, around, say, I went to community college for a while. I wasn't able to get funding to my degree. I took shit that was harder than it looked like later on. Other years, I couldn't get enough funding, and it's found out what can you really do around here to get a career anyway. There was a lot of this computer coding and then Java and Visual Basic and all that shit. But anyway, yeah, they could say the thing about community college, but I don't think any community college in my area should really be offended. But you got to watch how you say it in a way. I don't think he meant anything. The shit that we all been saying, these celebrities and all that. How these people think very highly of themselves, right? And oh yeah, we want to send our kids to the highest, most prestigious schools and stuff. And they themselves, no matter how they do it, right? They want to, if they can lie, cheat, or whatever. And I was always a firm believer too that yes, there's some people that get accepted in schools because they work hard for what they do. But a lot of times anymore, I think it's getting epidemic. The people that haven't gotten caught, they're not good at what they do, even if they don't have rich celebrity family members or relatives or anything like that. There's people out there, students themselves, that make friends with the right people, and whether it's bribe or cozy up to or all kind of different stuff or tactics that ain't really right. I think some schools you can even get kicked out for it. If you don't get a failing grade, cheating. Still working hard for what you do or doing it. But in a case like this, you get these people that are they'll act even on TV really highly of themselves and their own and look down on other people, right? Oh, I'm putting my kids through the finest school. And they're sneaking under the table, bribing, because they're worried about this reputation. But they get caught. Now they're in trouble, and it's all over the news. Not good. And what Dr. Phil was saying, everybody wants to do that to make the name. Oh, my kids we're going to this or that. And if they want to cheat or do underhanded things and bribes and payoffs to create the illusion in the world, because, well, some people's kids, you can say these people that are family members, like sons, daughters of celebrities or rich people. Some of them want that, the rich kid thing, and then other ones, maybe they might resent it. Oh, don't you be planning my life? How dare you be planning my life? I hate you. But anyway, yeah, nothing wrong with Slippery Rock or community college. If you want to pursue something, it's what it is somebody like Dr. Phil, he can figure out. But people like regular Joes and regular Janes like us are figuring it out. And we are always saying, oh, all these people that are rich and different things, like, oh, that they're cheating and they're crooked and all that stuff, and nothing like anything to reinforce that. I'm a firm believer, even more than ever now, a lot of these people that are, you don't want to say it, I'm not no freaking democratic socialist, but I'm not a diehard, what do you call it? I always said that I don't call myself, I want for rights either way around. I don't want to say I'm a diehard Democrat, liberal Democrat, or a diehard Republican, because I don't come from a family or anything that's rich enough to be Republican. Well, there's the Republican far left and far right. There's the Democratic far left and far right. I sure as shit ain't no communist or socialist. I don't give a fuck about Antifa. You look all over YouTube videos about Antifa, they got no bad reputation. For a common good, all they are is stirring up hornets' nests and creating. They want to create chaos and create race wars deliberately and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm not like diehard capitalist. I'm not diehard hand everything to poor. I worry that, you know, everything could collapse if there wasn't a balance. You don't want to be, if you're going to college, you don't want to be saying, oh, capitalism is all bad. And you don't want to say, go to the far way and be totally, you don't want to say, fuck the poor. To hell with the poor. That's bad. I always worry that there's so damn much poverty going around that even if the oil-rich people in Saudi Arabia that are ridiculously rich that I seen on some documentary one time, they're so rich, restaurants they only taking their harem to a night on the town. And food and desserts, not just with gold on the dishes, gold in actually the food and desserts. I'm like, holy shit. But say anyway, I am a firm believer, you get rich people like that, say they all of a sudden had change of heart, they want to take all money, feed all the poor. I mean, there'd be poverty in 20 more years because the money would be siphoned if you don't get a place where they have constant water source, and then you have to have products and services to keep the world going around. I mean, I'm no professor, I'm no graduate. You have to have some basically products and services to create jobs. And, well, a little bit of volunteer work and charity to cut some costs if it's doing honestly, which I believe in. But you don't want to say capitalism is all bad. The only thing that our government supposedly has laws that they're trying to force is there's a type of capitalism that's like a monopoly, intentionally getting too big and driving smaller businesses out of business. I mean, and say you get businesses that are so big, whether they're doing it on purpose or not, some maybe are, then all of a sudden some smaller businesses now in town right next to it is just turning into a ghost town and buildings deteriorate, decaying, you know, because, you know, and then on top of that, a bigger business deliberately creating more automation so they don't have to hire actually people to do the work. I mean, I like tech. Tech is good, but you take too much tech and no people doing stuff. I mean, you have to have fucking people, and then you're going to go around some people that works less or it doesn't work at all and go and laugh like that was a Bruce Hornsby song he said in one of his lyrics. Walk right by somebody with a smirk and say, get a job. That's just the way it is. But anyway, I get a little off the subject, but I worked in a glass factory close up one time where we're doing something real fast, peeling something foil off and putting on sheets of glass that were in stoves, right? What you don't see in the windows in stoves. This is just an example here of what I might as well go say this when I'm talking about the tech. And I think we can be living, like you ever see the beginning footage of the extended version of the movie Dune, where there was a little story explaining it, how everybody went into a big state of empathy and they had little drawings and everything automated run, and then all of a sudden there was a religious crusade against the machines and the tech, and then all of a sudden it gave rise to that B'nai Jenneret sisterhood and all that. People learned to develop their minds, and then explaining the origin of the bad guys. And anyway, yeah, tech is a thing you want to sell, right? They're building all kind of things with robots, but people are building these cars and shit with these robots, and you're having all these vehicles being recalled every other day. You're hearing about it. But okay, back with one of my points that I want to prove one of these points too, even though, because I'll just randomly say stuff right while I'm at it. Almost, you might may have been in high school or college professor that the whole class was over, and all of a sudden he got off the subject. He really started talking about some other stuff, and you're like, yay, maybe that test will be moved over another way. But okay, here's one thing I wanted to say. If you got this far in this video, okay, worked in a glass factory once. You know, the glass going on conveyors for stoves, okay, you know, and what you don't see in that little window inside when you open your stove, or the little glass window inside the steel door, for some reason we had foil tape. We were putting tape, a piece across here and a piece here and here. When you hire human beings, they develop practices and skills, providing that they're not doing as little as possible, or you don't have that person next to you. Oh, slow down, you're making me look bad. I said, no, I'll be like, no, motherfucker, I'm not making you look bad. Fucking develop the skill or leave me the hell alone, because that's... but anyway, yeah, you develop some skills. Take that right on there, and then you can have other factory jobs where you're like folding boxes really quick. But then there's some other jobs too where you're making cases of everything with water. Instead of putting the boxes, taping them real quick. And I don't use tape guns. I'm one of them people that a tape gun. What the fuck is that? A machine? Razor. Unfold the box. But then, yeah, there's machines that do that too in a high level. That sometimes they screw up. Okay, so I did that. Okay, I got that in parentheses. That applies to unfolding boxes. But you have a machine, and then these machines are very expensive to calibrate when they start fucking up and all the material gets all icy now. So anyway, here's my case too. Back to the damn stuff that makes, like for the stove. They're running on a conveyor belt, and after they're tempered out in the furnace, we got some in the box that they cool off. So we had them on a conveyor where we're going across, stopping a couple minutes, and then we're sticking tape on there, and everything was being tagged, put into a box, and shipped for wherever they're going, the factories to build the stoves. You know, we're doing it. Okay, yeah, I established the thing where you're learning the skills, okay? Because you have to have human beings to create job skills. You know? And then the right person can take pride in it, but yet be embarrassed and mad when certain things that he's put in front of him, shit that he's bad at, you know? It's huge. But anyway, okay, my point with this, they got these machines. I don't know how much money they spent on these machines to the conveyor to run that rolls of tape attached to the machine. It's digital, and the sheets of the stove glass going in there are right like this, and then it's going under in a tape roll. It's supposed to, you know, goes through and bam, 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 you know, getting the tape on there, and it's supposed to be faster. But machines screw up. They're not perfect. You know, things got to be calibrated. And say you got a roll of tape that doesn't come off the way it's supposed to. For example, manual rolls of tape. You ever get packing tape? You ever have to send a package UPS and you get a bad roll of tape? And you know how pissed off you get, especially the clear tape, when the tape, you get a bad roll, maybe, and it comes a big streamer of, and then you can't find the end. When you do find the end, it gets all like a triangular kind of ribbony. You're like, and you feel like throwing it across the room, or you try to take a razor blade and just, tape messes up like that. So when this happens on one of these machines, right, and this stuff, when you stick stuff on the glass, that shit ain't coming off, you know. They got to throw away a whole shitload of product. So we had bad roll of tape, and when the machine, it's like go in there trying to make it rapid and going faster so they can hire less human beings. But is sometimes Jim Quinn's law. Some things work the opposite of intention. Well, he says it about liberals, but I don't know. But it's a good thing, you know. Anything you do can be the opposite. So anyway, when they see this tape is come all screwing up and getting all over there, and it's running this fast, right? And they see it. By the time they stop the whole damn line, a whole shitload of all these glass panes they have to be thrown the hell out. They're garbage. You know, and they lose money. And then and who knows, they're making payments on the fucking machines, right? But they don't want to admit they're wrong. I mean, I can tell you some other places that you know, if you ever did some kind of company where they send you to all kind of assignments, it's a good experience to do because you learn about some things you put on your resume. Where like if you ever been around or near something, the machine they don't have it totally down packed yet. They want to have robots do damn near everything, and you even see in spooky videos that the possibility of transhumanism and just making some kind of, you know, robot. You know, I don't know, but right now, you do things with machines, they have to be watched and babysitted, because any machine that has a mechanism, it rolls up, it'll start not making its target and going a little off, and the product either go on the floor, like I said, and it'll, you know, so it's got to be recalibrated, and then if something ain't and it's not calibrating right, even though you keep fixing it. They got to call a person to look at it, and guess what? They're making payments on the machine, and it's extremely fucking expensive. So, nothing against the tech, but people go to school big time, to learn to be part of that tech. I mean, it gives somebody a job too, but, where's the balance? And how much, this was information for another video, but I just figured I'd throw some extra things in there because I'm not no genius or anything, but I had an intro to business class. This is an elective one time, and it gave you the gist of products and services creating jobs, but at the same time, I'm thinking when you get tech involved, I just want to throw opinions, or if anybody says anything in this video have a opinion somewhere, and throw them out. But what happened here in this video, I got, instead of just talking about that, something snapped in my brain where I had, because I'm into that, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a die-hard liberal or conservative. Okay, I'm not Bible thumper enough to be conservative. I had some theories and teachings on Bible, and I support the right to read other stuff. And I don't want to be a committed atheist or committed religious fanatic. I want to say things that'll make people think, but piss a little bit of everybody off, but not just say it to piss people off, make people think. Almost like the late George Carlin said, people don't want free thinking and critical thinking human beings. They want obedient followers and taught to just repeat what they're told. There's a thing going around on Facebook similar to what Jim Carlin said about some college. You don't want to say just because you're going to college, everybody is like that, but go to college to learn to repeat what you're told, and repeat and believe what you're told, and make it like you're smarter than everybody else. And there's another thing too. When you go to college, college shouldn't be a primary place for campus organizers to. I don't want to say don't protest anything and don't fight for your rights. Nobody should be bullying. By the time you're in college, you're out of high school, you should be a grown person and not be fucking heckling and bullying people because whether they're accused of being gay or accused of being this, or because they're a nerd, or because they're this or that, but yet you don't want to do anything like. It's not a place to start big political ruckuses and protests. You should be going to fucking learn, and you don't. And I am not going to say that college is just for people to repeat what they're told and act like they're smarter than else. What the hell it should be for is hopefully you learn some kind of skill, even if it's whether you get a degree and you want to get something behind a desk, but or if you want to take, I don't know, a trade, work on airplanes, work on things to put things together. I don't know, be up atop of a bridge or handle a big, learn a skill. Even if it have something where, say, you get this degree in something, and all of a sudden you can't find a job in it, learn a physical skill too. What it should be about is learning a skill or a trade or get a degree in something so you can get a job somewhere, not to go and start a big spectacle and be some leader on campus just to get fucking attention and stir up. That's like in some cases there's these everybody protesting this and that. You don't want to tell everybody to shut up because it would be like saying, then I should shut up too. But people doing all these protests, they don't want hatred to stop. They don't want, I have theories that some of these people don't want that shit to stop. They want to keep it going. Gay people, diehard gay people against conservatives, and communism against, I don't know, this. If everybody just say snubbed each other and were cordial to each other and not doing all these big spectacles, then somebody wouldn't be getting some shitload of attention, and then they're getting on, blogs and YouTubes and collecting money, or they're out there collecting money, stirring up fear and paranoia. Oh, we need money to stop this, and so they could put some of their pockets, and all of a sudden these protests become their career. And I'm not saying to not protest. They're fucking, how many of them, they don't want it to end because then they'd have to fucking get a job and use maybe the degree they're supposed to be getting in college to get a job. You know, now all of a sudden, all this bullshit they're doing in campuses, it should be a fucking place to learn. Nobody should be fighting and create drama out of nowhere. I mean, I started out talking about Dr. Phil, but this is, that's what it's getting to, you know. I mean, why can't people be who they are and just snub each other and stuff? Well, not attack people. Don't be beating up, shooting people for who they are, and don't be, or bullying, heckling, doing passive-aggressive heckling, and deliberately driving somebody else to suicide or whatever, too. Like, say, back when I was in high school, if somebody is a nerd, or it used to be when I was in school, there wasn't, it was just starting yet to get big as it was now. There wasn't all this protest about the gay rainbow and this other thing. Back when I was in school, even if you weren't gay, there was this thing where if you were a nerd or something, the norm actually for bullies was the bully people keep repetitively say faggot, faggot, faggot. And then if you were called, quote, a faggot, it gave, in some cases, bullies, right, were able to beat people up more freely. And then in some cases where nobody would want to intervene or report it. And you get some people that pick and choose who they want to enforce about it because it's so-and-so's relatives. And anyway, and people were acting like they were in high school, heckling and bullying for stuff, and then in some cases you get these other groups that I told you too that the gay thing is getting bigger, the support for it's getting bigger, because I had this theory that some of these people were joining that side and supporting it because they were bullied and accused of being faggots, and they want to turn the tables. And in some cases, they might be, oh, we're powerful, we're in numbers now, we're going to bully the other side, we're going to bully we're going to bully every single fucking person because they might be conservative, just because maybe there was somebody walking on the street minding their own business, and, oh, you're not a warrior for their thing, or you're not a warrior for their cause, and you're not worshiping their on. You were not worshiping at our altar, so, oh, you're an enemy too. Paranoia on all kind of sides. Like in a nutshell, yeah, you want to win the lottery and get a fucking house somewhere out here, a nice house, and tell the government, here's as much taxes you need ahead of time, you know, now, and do something for the worthwhile to the poor, maybe. You're tired of poverty, and stay the fuck away from it. Leave these. Everybody else can just go do whatever they want against each other. You know what I mean? It's like so much drama you're seeing on the damn news. You don't even. You just don't want to be around people. You know what I mean? It's almost like what Henry Rollins said in that one song. It's like you're seeing everything on TV. All they're saying, all the things that they're saying they're doing, it just fills me up with noise. It overloads me. I want to disconnect myself, pull my brain out, and unplug myself. I want nothing right now. What he's saying is everything you're seeing on the news around in the world, if you want to add to it, is like just filling you up with noise. Not that you don't want to pick sides completely. You're siding with this person, this kind of person in this circumstance, but not this circumstance, and you're siding with this person you don't always like, but you're agreeing with them on this. Then all of a sudden you're just filled up with noise, and then people next to you in real life in drama, you know, you got workplace drama, but half of people you work next to, you know, you had the divide and rule games, the cliques. People in your workplace are just like the fucking people in high school. They play in their games, and grown people acting like kids. And whether you're in a workplace in an industrial area, or whether you go to college, you got people that are supposed to be grown people, and they're creating big spectacles, and it's you're seeing them on the news, they're acting like a bunch of big fucking kids. It's just, why don't they just at least snub each other, turn their heads away from each other? At least they'd be leaving each other the hell alone, you know what I mean? But, oh, well, strange world, huh?